Well, let's talk about some other news and notes heading into the show. There's an episode of Raw where Coach is just being brutal to you, harassing you on commentary the entire time. And it comes out in the torch that really this is just Vince messing with you.
Yeah.
And an insider has told Wade, go listen to Coach call Monday night or Sunday Night Heat, and then listen to him call Raw, and you can hear the Vince influence. So it's not Coach picking on or bullying Jim Ross. It's Vince McMahon doing it through Coach,
Yeah.
and JR knows that.
Yep.
And Raw is Vince's playground, and this is what he wants to do, so he's going to. And it doesn't matter if production people like it or that's just what we're going to do. And this toxicity is something we heard a lot associated with you, and this sort of weird love-hate dynamic that Vince, I guess, appeared to have for you. But this with Coach is weird because Coach is almost openly mocking you for being a wrestling fan and caring about wrestling stories and not being above it all, which is exactly what you don't want your lead announcer to do. Like, you want that guy to be engaged and to be a fan. But it's just weird. Like, anything Vince could do to bust your balls, he would. But you knew this isn't Coach. This is Vince, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I was never angry at Coach. He was in a different world, a different universe that he was not comfortable being in, but he did the best that he could. I had no issues with Coach whatsoever. Never did. Don't today. But you know, it was Vince. He for whatever perverse reason he had in busting my balls, he took advantage of because he could, and nobody could do anything about it. So I realized that early on, Connie, and I just accepted it. This is how it is. So you can either deal with it and survive, or you can revolt and not survive. I chose surviving and earning those paychecks.
We got to talk about Joni Lauer. Of course, we knew her as China. She's listed in the Guinness Book of World Records here for the year 2000, and they're going to say that she made $1 million in 2000. Of course, Dave says that book doesn't have a lot of credibility, but he does believe she earned around $800K in 2000, which would be the most money any woman in the history of wrestling has ever earned. Do you think she ever had $1 million a year, Jim, as best you can recall?
Yeah, I think she had one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she had one. But the company was hot. You know, I don't know why it sticks out in my mind, but we had like 20 people. Now, I might be off 2 or 3, but we had 20 people, to the best of my memory, that made $1 million or more that year. And so, and she was one of them. She was booked regularly. She was in key elements, key stories. But that was her whole issue. She wanted $1 million a year guarantee, same as Stone Cold. And I just believe that that was not equitable. I thought that you may earn more than that. There's no ceiling on no ceiling on what you can earn, but to guarantee you that is not in the cards. And at the end of the day, that's what created us parting ways. We were not going to go for the $1 million guarantee, and she didn't like that. Thought it was unfair, and she had a right to think that, but we didn't agree, and so consequently we parted ways a little bit later on.
Let's talk a little bit about some meetings that Vince holds before Raw and SmackDown in January. He gets the whole crew together, all the talent, and he says that we're going to have these meetings on a more regular basis before the tapings. And you're going to get up and do a speech as well and put over the importance of protecting kayfabe and talking about how in years past, guys who were working in programs together didn't travel together or hang out together. And we're going to have to start being more professional. If you can't show up on time, we've got to start instituting fines. And it's described as more of a Vince Lombardi style speech. And you
From me?
Yes.
Wow.
and it said that the company's going to start critiquing television matches. And then at Raw, we have another meeting, and we tell the talent, hey, go watch that Triple H Shawn Michaels match. It is a perfect example of a great wrestling match getting both people over. And some of this rubs people the wrong way. And
why would that be? Why would it rub them the wrong way?
I think professional jealousy aimed at Shawn and Hunter.
There you go. So
like
it's a negative motivation, a negative scenario, Conrad. I mean, come on, bullshit. Those guys had a great match, and it deserved to be flowered, shall we say? It is the work and the outcome and the results deserve to be highlighted, and at least that's what I think. I thought it was just a tremendous presentation. So pointing that out to me didn't matter. It's like you said, professional jealousy is a strong element, and that's all that was. So if you want to complain, maybe work your ass off a little harder. Maybe improve your game. Maybe make your game better. And some took that at heart, and a lot of others took it personally, and didn't want to play ball.
It's written here that it's official. Sable and Tori Wilson will be the dual cover girls in the March Playboy as a co-promotion with WrestleMania. Of course, this was a huge seller, a huge hit, hugely successful. But what a great strategy to have this come out around the same time as WrestleMania. How was your relationship with Playboy in this era?
Good. We sold magazines, and we produced. So it was good, and Sable and Tori were, as I recall, were easy to work with. They knew that they were going to get some prime real estate with their image on it. The cover of Playboy was nothing to scoff at. And so it was a good situation. And it created a great payday for those two ladies.
Speaking of ladies, Melina Perez, she is going to get signed. She's going to get her opportunity. This is the era where that happens. She tried out for Tough Enough 3, but didn't crack the final 13. She's been working on independence on the West Coast. And, well, she was a swimsuit model for Hawaiian Tropics, and now she's got a shot with WWE. Finishing up with WWE, though, will be Roger Marmont, who was the company's executive vice president in charge of the international markets.
Never heard of him.
Wow. Okay.
That's how Roger was positioned. I'm sure Roger did a good job. I don't know Roger, but I have no relationship with him. So he wasn't keenly involved to the level that everybody would know his name. And that doesn't mean he wasn't doing a good job, just that our paths crossed very seldomly.